Before we dive in, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more gripping true crime stories just like this. They wore the badge, they held the title, they commanded the room. Judges, officers, CEOs, investigators, people trained to stay calm under pressure. But the courtroom is different because under oath, authority means nothing. And when the questions start cutting deeper, power can slip in seconds. Today, we're looking at authority figures who walked into court confident and walked out exposed. This isn't about shouting matches or viral outbursts. It's about moments, small cracks in control. A raised voice, a delayed answer, a contradiction that couldn't be explained away. Because in court, every word is recorded, and sometimes the most powerful people unravel when they realize the truth is no longer theirs to manage. He had testified dozens of times before. Decorated officer, years of experience, praised for leadership. When he took the stand, the prosecution expected routine confirmation. But the defense had something else planned. The body cam footage was played, slowly, frame by frame. The officer had written in his report that the suspect resisted aggressively. The footage showed something different. Minimal movement, confusion, no visible threat. When asked about the difference, the officer leaned back. "I don't recall the exact moment," he said, but the defense pressed. "You signed this report under oath, silence." His tone changed, more defensive, less confident. "I believed at the time the suspect posed a threat. Believed. Not saw. Believed." The jury noticed. Authority shifted. And for the first time, the officer wasn't in control of the narrative. He was used to boardrooms, not courtrooms. A corporate executive accused of approving financial decisions that led to massive losses. Under direct examination, he was composed, confident. He insisted he had no knowledge of internal warnings. Then the cross-examination began. "Do you recognize this email?" A printed document appeared on screen. His name at the top, time-stamped, clear. He hesitated. "That appears to be my email." The defense read it aloud. The warning had been explicit. He had responded with one sentence. "Proceed anyway." The room shifted. His posture stiffened. That message was taken out of context. "Please explain the context." Another pause. For the first time, he didn't have an answer ready. He attempted to reframe, to redirect, to regain control. But the words didn't land the way they did in board meetings. Under oath, confidence isn't enough. Precision is, and he had just lost it. This case was different. It involved a wrongful conviction. Years earlier, a detective had led an investigation that put a young man behind bars. Now, new DNA evidence had surfaced. The original detective was called to testify. He began strong, explained procedures, outlined evidence, spoke with certainty. Then came the question, "Did you investigate alternative suspects?" "Yes." "Can you provide documentation of those investigations?" A stack of files was presented, thin, almost empty. The defense continued. "Isn't it true you focused primarily on one suspect within the first 48 hours? That was where the evidence led, but was it where the evidence stopped?" The detective's tone sharpened. "We followed protocol, but the jury wasn't hearing protocol. They were hearing possibilities. Possibility that someone else had been ignored. Possibility that authority had narrowed its focus too soon. Under oath, tunnel vision becomes visible. And when it does, credibility starts to fade. There's a pattern in these cases. Authority figures are used to being believed, used to leading conversations, used to controlling rooms. The court changes that, because in court, someone else asks the questions. And those questions are designed not for comfort, but for clarity. When contradictions appear, authority faces a choice: admit error or defend the narrative. Many choose defense. And that's when control begins to fracture. In a high-profile misconduct case, a county sheriff took the stand. Allegations had surfaced about ignored complaints within his department. He began confidently, denied knowledge, denied negligence. Then the defense attorney asked about internal reports. Multiple reports signed and forwarded to his office. Did you read these? I received hundreds of documents. Did you read these? The repetition tightened the room. The sheriff's voice grew louder. I cannot recall every document that crosses my desk, but you signed this one. The paper was displayed. His signature cleared. He shifted in his seat for administrative processing, so you signed without reading. That question lingered, and the authority in his voice cracked. Anger replaced certainty, but anger under oath doesn't command respect. It suggests pressure. Under oath strips away titles. It removes uniforms. It ignores reputation. All that remains is testimony, and testimony must align with evidence. Authority figures often lose control not because they unprepared, but because they unchallenged in everyday life. They aren't used to sustained scrutiny. In court, scrutiny is relentless. Every word is measured. Every pause is noted. Every contradiction becomes a thread that can unravel an entire case. Even judges can be called to testify in rare circumstances. In one ethics hearing, a long-serving judge was questioned about undisclosed relationships. He entered, answered smoothly. Then came financial disclosures. Dates didn't align. Meetings hadn't been reported. Was this an oversight? Yes, repeatedly. Silence? The word oversight began to sound less convincing. Under oath, patterns matter, and patterns expose intent. The judge maintained calm on the surface, but subtle shifts told another story. Longer pauses, shorter answers, less eye contact. Authority was still present, but it was thinner, more fragile. Losing control under oath isn't always dramatic. Sometimes it's quiet. A swallowed correction, a sudden shift in tone, a visible realization that the narrative has slipped beyond recovery. When authority realizes it no longer directs the story, panic can surface in subtle ways. Defensiveness, over-explaining, attacking the question instead of answering it. Juries notice that, judges notice that, and in that moment, power redistributes. Authority commands respect, but truth commands accountability. And in a courtroom, accountability wins. The badge doesn't answer you. The title doesn't protect you. The position doesn't soften the question. Under oath, you are reduced to one thing: your words. And if those words don't align with facts, control disappears. Sometimes slowly, sometimes instantly, but always visibly. Because in the end, the most powerful position in a courtroom isn't the one with the highest rank. It's the one asking the question. Comment if you believe the truth can be hidden in plain sight. Subscribe for more shocking true crime stories that defy belief. Like, share, and watch the full story in our latest video.